All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to today's webinar. Just want to make sure everything's going. Sorry we're a little late, but we want to make sure all of our partners were here. My name is Anthony Junta. I'm the Director of Sales and Business Development here at Green Day Power. Today's webinar is going to be all about really selling roofing, getting that benefit with our customers, adding that value on top of solar, really making sure that that's something in your arsenal that we can really sell. And what better than to have the partners that we have today to really help introduce and explain what we have, our partnership of who we have, first of all, with roofing. So I'm going to introduce you guys to Parker Daniel. He is with Epic. He is definitely going to be just explaining the partnership we have. They are dedicated with Green Day Power to cover all of our territories. So they're going to be the guys that really help us out with really kind of pushing this, doing some real quality work, and making sure that we get our customers taken care of. We also have some partners here with GAF. As you can see, that's really going to explain the superior quality of the products that are going to be used as well. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it right over to Parker to introduce your team.
Perfect.
All right.
Hey guys, I'm Parker here with Epic. I'm one of the owners here. We've been around since 2017, and like Anthony was saying, we cover anywhere from the southern border of Oregon to SoCal, to San Diego, LA. So we'll be your premier roofing partner throughout everywhere in between, from there to here. We do roofing. We're kind of a jack of all trades, and so our partnership with Green Day is to focus more on the roofing side of things. But we're also a general contractor. So if you have customers that want some additional work done, roped into their solar loan, we may be able to help out there. But our goal is just to give your customers peace of mind that not just any Joe Schmo roofer is going to be here doing these installs. We've been in the industry for a while, a long time. We have some pretty cool classifications that are just hard to get and hard to find, especially here in the state of California. And we have an awesome partner. So I know there'll be some more questions later in the webinar about how to get bids on some of the roof projects you guys want to do, and just also some other QA type questions in terms of what products we're using and things like that. We specialize in anything roofing related. So that's repitching of roofs, that's tile lift and relays, flat roofs, shingles obviously, and really anything else. So we're working a lot with the people here at Green Day just to get them up to speed and get you guys up to speed on what you can expect from us. From a roofing standpoint, once we get a job of your guys's, you can expect the roof to be installed within a couple weeks of us getting the job. So we take care of all the communication on our end with the homeowner, and obviously if we have any questions, we'll let you guys know. But we're really excited to be working with you guys. We've known who Green Day is for a long time. We've worked together in the past, and so we're excited that we're able to be on the same team and really just help make your guys' jobs a lot easier. So I'll turn time over to Matt. Matt is our rep with GAF, and so I'll turn the time over to him to introduce who GAF is and what they're all about, and then we'll go from there.
Hello everyone, I'm the Regional Sales Director for GAF. In the state of California, we have 13 reps under me. There's five in LA area, 1 in San Diego, 2 in the Central Valley, got 3 in the Bay, 2 in the Sacramento. Nelson Gray and Travis Beyer will be training you guys on some different products today, and then we'll go into the warranty system. I really wanted to go through and let you know who you guys are teaming up with though. Epic Energy is one of our highest rated contractors in the entire state of California. In the GAF system, we have certified, then we have a master lead, then inside our master lead program, we start to go to 1 stars and 2 stars. So a certified contractor in the GF world is about 7% of all contractors. Master leads are 2% of contractors, so only 2 out of every 100 people within the state are a master lead. President's Club winners are 1 out of that whole percentage, so you're really talking about within the state of California, you're looking at having about 200 master leads, like 150 to 200 master leads in the entire state. Within that, we're looking at about 4 President's Club, like 2 stars, which they are. They're really special to us, guys. It really works out well. They could offer warranties like nobody else. Going forward, they're even going to be offering warranties that nobody else could. So for me, like, they are a very powerful partner for us, and you guys will see that like going forward. GAF as a whole, guys, GF is very localized. So like we make everything in our own shingles. We're vertically integrated here locally. When you're in Sacramento or if you're in the Central Valley, even the LA area, you could say that all of our shingle components come within 4 hours. The granules come from right here in Jackson, which is right outside of Sacramento. You have Shafter, where our shingles come out of. They're outside of Bakersfield, and that's where also our fiberglass matting comes through. So when you look at it, it's really like you could tell that local story. We're a U.S.-based company. We're a privately held company. We are the oldest company. We are the largest company. So I mean, you could really like start to go down that list and really say that we have like the Good Housekeeping seal, which Nelson and Travis will explain it to you guys. But there's just layers on layers of value that you could really build, right? As a solar guy, what are you trying to look for? You're trying to look for something that differentiates yourself. So when you're trying to differentiate yourself, if you could sell a different warranty than most of the people, you could say that it's an all-in-one company really working as one. You guys are different. So that's what we're trying to build today. The guys here, Nelson, if you want to come up here. Nelson covers the Sacramento area, pretty much all in Northern California. He's going to go through the processes, products of how our systems work, and then we'll go through the warranties on like the back end.
Cool. Thanks, Matt. Again, so my name is Nelson Graham, one of the reps here in Sacramento, and I'm going to be doing just what Matt said. We're going to talk a little bit about kind of the sales process and what it's like to sell not just a roofing system, but our roofing system, and that's what you're selling is a roofing system. You're not just selling a roof, and it's not rocket science, really. When it comes down to it, you don't need to know a lot to be able to the ins and outs of a roof, which can be pretty complex to sell it. Remember that the people you're selling to, typically a homeowner knows what a shingled roof looks like. They probably don't know what a shingle looks like. They almost certainly don't know what underlayment is and some of the innards of the roof, and that's kind of what we're here to talk about. So I'll go through this, and any questions, concerns can be relayed to myself or Matt or Parker, anybody, anytime, anywhere. We're happy to help you guys out. So some of it will be a little bit repetitive, kind of what Matt just said, but I love for you to go into a living room and talk about GAF for an hour and how we're the greatest company in the history of the world? Sure. In reality, you're going to be winning the deal. You and Green Day Power are what's going to win the deal. GAF is a company that's going to have your back, and Epic's going to have your back. And a few bullet points about GAF, like Matt said. So we've been around since 1886. That's longer than Coca-Cola. When it comes to the warranties, we'll talk about why that's important. But being around that long, it says a lot. Being around since 1886, being the oldest shingle manufacturer, being the largest shingle manufacturer, and like Matt talked about, being vertically integrated, being that single source manufacturer, the only one in the industry that can say that. We like to hang our hat on it. These are a couple of bullet points that separate GAF from our competitors. We'll go over a few differences between ourselves and our competitors and who you're going to be going up against too when you're selling these roofs. Understanding your value, what you guys are bringing to the table, especially partnering with Epic. We already talked about what Epic is able to do here on the West Coast. They're kind of second to none, certainly in our opinion. Having that partner, having your back is something to be proud of. But more importantly, you got to know what your story is. You guys do know your story. How long, all the experience that you guys have. You're locally owned and operated, partnering with Epic Energy and what that means, how important that is. But then telling your story and how you do that is really important. I always like to tell a story about my landscaping. When we got quoted our landscaping, my landscaper had more passion about plants than I've ever seen in my entire life. It was incredible. I didn't give a hoot about plants at all. Had two guys come in. One guy kind of poked his head around, looked around, and gave me a quote. Okay, great. I'm sure he was going to do a great job. The other guy came in. He did about 15 laps around my backyard. He's telling me about what plants are partial shade and what plants are full shade and this and that. And I couldn't have cared less at the time. He got me interested in it. And I love my backyard now. My hydrangeas are booming here in 2023. It's been very exciting for me. But that's kind of what the enthusiasm that you got to have when you're talking to homeowners. You know, if you sound like you give the same sales pitch 4 times a day, they're gonna feel that and they're not going to be interested. So get your story down, your personal story, and your company's story, and it's going to be able to help you. Knowing your competition is also really important. You're going to go up against this guy a lot. We like to call him Chuck in the Truck, call him Tommy Tank Top. There's a lot of different names for him, but a guy who's going to knock on a front door and say, hey, I'm a one-man band. I'm going to tear your roof off. I'm going to install it myself. I'm going to do I'm my own quality control. That's going to be so great. I don't have to rely on other people, yada, yada, yada. And he's going to come in way lower than you are. There's going to be a number of reasons why that is and a number of reasons why you're better. One of those is going to be the 66% rule. 66% of all contractors are out of business in the first 2 years. Guys don't know where they're losing money. Guys don't know where they're making money. And that's not a malicious thing. It's there's a lot of good roofers out there. There's not a lot of good businesses out there. So the guy who comes in and offers that great deal, he's more than likely going to be gone within 2 years, sometimes quicker than that. So the first leak that comes through, that homeowner is going to give him a call, and he ain't going to be answering his phone. He ain't going to be in the state of California. He's going to be gone. One of the reasons that you can separate yourself. The Better Business Bureau says that 80% of all homeowner complaints come from taking the lowest bid. 80% of those complaints come from taking the lowest bid. You guys aren't going to be the lowest bid. That's totally fine. We don't want you to be. You don't want to be. That's not how you make money. And that's where a lot of the problems will stem from. Cutting corners. The Tommy Tank Tops of the world are going to cut a lot of corners. When I go through these products, we're going to show you why they cut corners and how they cut corners and why your products are going to be better. And offering their own warranty. When we talk about our warranties, which is really where you'll separate yourself, we'll talk about how the guys who are not certified with manufacturers claim that they can offer warranties when they can't. The roofing system is kind of the bread and butter, the steak and potatoes. That's why you're here. So all good roofs start with a clean deck. When we're talking about decks, especially here in the Sacramento area, you might hear about skip sheathing. If you ever run into a wood shake roof, which here in Sacramento, there's still plenty of those. There's always going to be skip sheathing under that. The gaps are too large in between that wood for our installation instructions to be facilitated appropriately. So if you ever had skip sheeting, it's going to require an entire new deck. I know a few sales guys out there who have forgotten to quote a deck. That's usually a mistake that you make one time because it can be very, very expensive. Just a few years ago, one sheet of OSB cost, I think it was almost up to $90 a sheet. You forget that, it can get ugly. Now we're in the $20 to $30 range. It's a little nicer. But that's something when you're talking to homeowners, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, you mentioned there was a leak in your living room. There's maybe a leak in the bathroom. That's what we know about. We won't know what we're going to need to replace on the deck until we tear that roof off. Sometimes it might be a sheet or two. Sometimes it might be the whole darn thing. So something that you want to prepare people for what they're going to run into when that roof gets torn off. But after that deck goes down, the first piece of the puzzle is going to be your leak barrier. That's what we call it, a leak barrier. You might hear the term ice and water. You might hear the term self-adhered or peel and stick. This one right here is called Weather Watch. It's going to go, essentially what I like to say is that it's a scuba suit for your roof. That's what a homeowner would understand. It's a scuba suit for your roof. It's going to go in the most vulnerable areas. It'll go in valleys. It'll go around chimneys, around skylights, anywhere where water is going to be most penetrable. It's in the most dangerous spots is where this is going to go. If you throw any kind of a nail in here and you tried to pull that out, you would see it self-sealing around that nail, which is why this is important. When you're talking, up the hill, maybe in Lake Tahoe, places where the weather is a little bit more violent, the local codes might require this to go across the entire deck. The local code always supersedes GAF code, but that kind of explains how powerful this product is. The more violent the weather, the more necessary this product's going to be. Here in Sacramento, for the most part, valleys, chimneys, skylights, that's where you're going to see it the most. The next piece of the puzzle is going to be our roof deck protection. Our friend Tommy Tank Top most often is going to be using something that looks like this. You'll hear 15-pound felt, 30-pound felt. This is roofing felt paper. And that's what it is. It's paper. It tears like that. Like the construction paper that my adorable 3-year-old daughter draws on every day. That's what this tears like. And what happens to paper when it gets wet? It bubbles, it tears, it rips, it disintegrates entirely. If you ever see on a roof, if you're going by and you see shingles that look wavy like this, people will call me and say, hey, your shingles are buckling. Shingles don't buckle. What buckles is underneath it, and it's usually going to be an underlayment issue, and it's usually going to be a product like this. You guys aren't going to be using this product. You're going to be using a product called Tiger Paw. It's a synthetic underlayment. It's 600 times stronger than paper, which is not overly impressive when you realize that that's paper. But What I like to say most about Tiger Paw that really sticks with homeowners is that when this is left exposed, it can be left exposed for up to 6 months. That's how powerful this product is. The shingle is the pretty part of the roof. They can pick the pretty color, that's great. The stuff under the shingle is what matters, and this is the most important piece of that puzzle. In a past life, I worked for a company called Owens Corning, which is a big competitor of ours. I had Owens Corning contractors who would use the entire Owens Corning system, but told me that they would not use anything but Tiger Paw for synthetic underlayment. That hurt my feelings when I was at Owens Corning. Now that I'm at GAF, I think that's great. So this is a product that you can be proud of and believe in. And when you talk to homeowners, I would always say that out loud. 6 months, this can be left exposed. Like Parker said, you ain't going to be leaving this exposed for 6 months. Typically, it's going to be a day or two. But if something were to go wrong, for whatever reason, that's how good this stuff is. It can be left exposed for up to 6 months. And that's going to go across the entirety of the roof. A starter strip. This doesn't seem very exciting, but I'll tell you why it's important. The starter strip basically is going to go along the bottom of the roof at the eave and up the rake. And why this is important is because of this right here, this DuraGrip adhesive, which is a GAF trademark. It's when it marries up to the shingle, which we'll go over next. When it marries up to the adhesive on the back of that, that's going to give you your unlimited wind warranty and something that GAF is very proud of again. Now, to code, a standard contractor, our friend Tommy Tank Top, what he's probably going to do is grab an old shingle, flip it upside down, and use that as his course for his starter strip. To code, that's fine. You know the term C's get degrees. You guys aren't here to put on C work. We're not going to also ask a homeowner to pay their hard-earned money for recycled product. There's plenty of roofers that I know personally that have shingles in their backyard or their garage, and they'll use those old shingles as their starter strip. We don't do that. This is tried and true to be used with GAF products, and we'll talk about the importance of using all GAF products versus what these guys are doing. Piecemealing roofs together with old product, different manufacturers. Again, vertically integrated. All of our stuff is tested together back at our headquarters in New Jersey, time and time and time again. The shingle, the pretty part, as I mentioned. The Timberline HDZ shingle. The Timberline shingle is the #1 selling shingle in North America. 1 in every 4, closing in on 1 in every 3 roofs, something that we're really excited about. There's a number of reasons why that is. Our color palette is fantastic. Our layer lock technology that we use on that is fantastic. The thing that I think is the best is the strike zone right here. The nailing zone is the largest nailing zone in the industry. A reason that that's important we'll talk about when we get to warranties. There's a lot of contractors that put on a ton of different manufacturers. Here in Sacramento, when it's 105 degrees outside in the summer and it's 125 degrees on a roof and it's 2:30 in the afternoon and the roofers just want to get the heck off that roof and get home and there's sweat dripping into their eyes, they probably don't remember what shingle they're putting on if they put on 5 different manufacturers every week. Monday they're doing Owens Corning. Wednesday they're doing Malarkey. Thursday they're doing ICO. You guys put on GAF all day, every day. The strike zone is exactly the same. Twice the size of Owens Corning, I might add. Twice the size of Owens Corning. And that's really important when it comes to warranties. But when you're doing the same thing every day, you don't have to think, because some manufacturers, their nailing zone is 1 line. Some have 3 lines. Some have a blue line. Some have 2 lines. Some have a strip. You guys put on GAF all day, every day, and having that same nailing zone seems simple. It's not, because there's so many different ways it can be done, and every manufacturer has a different way that they ask for it to be done. So the fact that you can do it the same way every day, day in and day out, is really, really important. That's what I like to focus on when it comes to homeowners, is how big that nailing zone is. Because the average home is going to have 6,000 to 8,000 nails in it. Every nail is a potential problem. The larger margin for error, the better. So that's kind of what I stick with the most. On the screen right now, you see the HDZ Reflector Series. Title 24 here in California is very, very important. A way to satisfy Title 24 is simply to use a Title 24 shingle, which anything that has RS in the name for us, Reflector Series, covers that. Title 24 can also be met if somebody is hell-bent on having the darkest shingle possible and they don't want to use a reflector color. They can use a standard charcoal, which is our darkest shingle, and you can satisfy Title 24 by blowing in additional insulation or adding a radiant barrier. Way more often than not, people are just going to want to buy the Reflector Series and knock that out of the park right there. A couple other products that we do have. The UHDZ shingle is relaunched, something that we're very excited about. It's the same style of shingle as the HDZ, but it's going to be heavier. It's going to have a dual shadow line, which looks awesome on a roof. It was a second iteration of our Ultra that we used to sell. Something that we think that dual shadow line and the added weight is something that we think is really going to separate ourselves. No Title 24 colors. Probably won't run into it a ton, but there's a lot of chatter about this. A lot of marketing has gone into this, and homeowners are pretty excited about it if you do run into that. You can see kind of what the dual shadow line looks like right there versus the regular HDZ. And again, the weight is something it's going to be heavier than the standard HDZ. Matt mentioned the Good Housekeeping. Not only have we got the Good Housekeeping seal, which is important because that is an unbiased third party that has given GAF the kudos before for being the best shingle in the industry. And this UHDZ shingle in the most recent award, it does say up in Reno, which, I mean, Reno it's part of our territory, so it's something we're happy for. If you're outside of this territory, might not mean as much, but the Good Housekeeping seal also went to UHDOs or all the other manufacturers out there. So anytime you can have a third party that says you're the best, you're pretty proud of it. Our designer shingles, I think, are really important. I think it's the best looking shingle that you'll find out there. Grand Sequoia is the one that we sell the most of. This design it's going to be your luxury shingle. If you've got a little homeowner, it's a little bougie, looking for something a little extra, this is going to be it. It's also much heavier than the HDZ shingle. Again, my favorite shingle on the market, and there's a reason when you see neighborhoods, when you see one of them, you usually see 10 of them. People see it and they like it. So if you do talk to somebody who wants something higher end, heavier, Grand Sequoia, and then to another extent Grand Canyon, which is heavier than Grand Sequoia, but doesn't have Title 24 colors. So basically, if you're new to these products, think the luxury line of shingles, it's going to be Grand Sequoia and Grand Canyon. Ventilation, I think, is probably the most important thing that goes into a roof. If you're not talking about it, that's a problem, and there's a lot of contractors that don't. A lot of sales guys that don't, because they don't understand it. Ventilation is the number one reason that a roof fails. I don't typically like to sell by fear, but I do tell homeowners that that's the number one reason a roof is going to fail, is poor ventilation. And I think we've calculated that 9 out of 10 homes in America are improperly ventilated. So when I'm talking about ventilation, there's a couple different ways that we can do it. On the Ridge, I don't know if you guys use the mesh roll very often, but you probably are going to use our Ridge vent right here, which basically that's going to go right along top of the ridge. There's going to be a 2-inch gap at the top of the ridge for the exhaust to come out. This just sits right on top. When I talk to homeowners, if you really explain ventilation in detail, it can get a little bit mathematical and their eyes will start to glaze over. I like to say I'm here to make sure that there's 50-50 intake and exhaust. The same amount of air that is going to come into your house is going to go out. That's the basics of ventilation. If they want to dive more into it, we have GF has a ventilation calculator on our website. You can look at it, they can look at it to figure out how much ventilation is required. Typically, again, I just like to tell them that we're here to make sure that has a 50-50 balance of intake and exhaust, because especially if that air is not exhausting, it's going to be circulating in the roof or in the attic slowly but surely, creating condensation. Condensation leads to mold. Mold leads to all kinds of problems. And that's really where the homeowner's energy bills are going to get hit the most, is poor ventilation. You go in an attic and there's insulation covering different ventilation that we have in there. The exhaust vents are covered by insulation. That's a problem. So you just need to make sure that the attic area is properly ventilated to avoid any of those problems. The ridge cap, this just sits right on top. It sits right on top of here. And the way that Tommy Tank Top is going to get around using ridge cap, because God forbid you have to buy another product, he's going to use old shingles. He's going to bend them over the top of the ridge and nail them in like that. Shingles are not designed to bend. They're not designed for that, and they will cause problems and they'll wind up cracking. Ours, you can see the ridge cap is designed to bend, and that's why it goes up there. Not only that, but obviously it's going to aesthetically look good with the color that's been selected. We're not picking a random black shingle to go with our charcoal shingle, which is another way that guys will get around it. We use our Timbercrest or Ridge Glass, but you guys are probably going to use Timbercrest most. You can see that distinct bullnose look, give it a little bit of a dimensional look when it's on the ridge. It's the best look in the industry, and it's going to be much better than throwing an old shingle over on top of the ridge. That is what it looks like when guys bend old shingles. And if you start looking around, you see that more and more and more. It's pretty wild to me that people do it, but unfortunately you see it a lot. You see it a lot. Warranties is how you're going to win a lot of business, especially partnering with Epic. Being able to offer the best warranty in the business is very, very, very important. It gives homeowners peace of mind. It's also something that I believe in greatly. I don't think it's a used car salesman pitch. I think if I was buying a home, without a doubt, I would want an extended warranty, being able to offer our Golden Pledge warranty. Thanks to Epic, being partners with them. It's very, very important. We'll go over why here. You have to use a certain number of accessories, which will be no problem for you. All those accessories I just went over will satisfy that. What I like to talk about most is the standard shingle warranty. If I were to go to Home Depot right now, buy GAF products off the shelf, my shingles are going to be covered for 10 years, and they prorate after that. Only shingles are covered, no accessories are covered, no labor, no tear off, no disposal. That's the standard warranty off the shelf. You guys are able to offer the Golden Pledge. The Golden Pledge is going to offer a 50-year non-prorated material. That includes accessories, that includes tear off, it includes disposal, it includes labor. All of that stuff is included for the material side of things, but where you really set yourself apart is workmanship. It includes 25 years of workmanship for the HDZ shingle and 30 years of workmanship for our designer shingles. Common misconception is labor and workmanship. Labor is the act of putting the shingle on. Workmanship is the quality with which you do that. If I go up and put a roof on myself, which we don't want me doing, if I get up there and do that, my labor can be seen up there. If I put the shingles on upside down, my labor's up there. My workmanship is very poor. I've put the shingles on upside down. That's something that would technically still be covered. When you're putting 6,000 to 8,000 nails in a roof, and you know how fast roofers work, it is bang, 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 bang. They are working very, very quickly. If they're missing nailing zones, for any of our manufacturers, that's a workmanship issue. That is considered a workmanship issue. It happens. People are human. Nail guns run hot sometimes. If we're putting on, have our nail gun going and it's running a little hot in the first square, the install team figures that out. Typically, they're not going to go and remove that square. There might be a couple nails that have a little bit of a blow through every now and then. That is a workmanship issue that's covered when you have a Golden Pledge. That's something that needs to be emphasized over and over and over again. The first 2 years are typically going to be on the contractor. Not typically. The first 2 years of workmanship are on the contractor. GAF privately owns that workmanship warranty for the next 23 years. It's something that I think is probably the thing that we are best at, is owning that warranty and standing by that warranty. When you're able to offer that Golden Pledge, let's say for any reason, for whatever reason, Green Day, Power, Epic, they hit the lotto, boom, they close the doors, they're gone tomorrow. All those Golden Pledge warranties that you've sold will still be handled and owned by GAF, and only another Master Elite contractor can work on any potential warranty issue. We've done it, we've seen it time and time again, where we're able to cover issues that have happened with Master Elites from roofs put on 10, 12, 15 years ago. So homeowners who are seeking that peace of mind, which buying a roof is not fun, it's not sexy, you're not excited about it, they're not inviting their friends over to look at their new charcoal roof, it's not like buying a new $90,000 Silverado. This is something that has to be done. They're not excited about it. You're there to give them peace of mind. You're there to educate them, show them what they're buying. Showing them what they're buying is so important because, like I mentioned earlier, they don't know what goes into a roof. They don't know why it's expensive. There's a lot of reasons why it is, and you showing them all these things is preparing them for a purchase that has to be made, because that's what it is. It's a necessity.
Nelson, go on to the 20-year for the solar. Or if you want me to speak about
Yeah, why don't you talk on that?
I'm back. Guys, so one thing that GAF does that no other roofing manufacturer does is we will warranty the solar. And when I say the solar, I mean the solar standoffs or solar stanchions or the solar penetrations, whatever wording you want. Nobody else takes that liability on except like GAF. It doesn't cost any extra money. All Epic has to do is a little bit more paperwork, which they do, and they turn it into me, which I turned into our warranty department. It's not the 25 years, but it is 20 years. So technically, Epic will own that for 2 years, and then we own it like for the next 18. Most of the time when you see all these companies come out, everybody has seen it, right? Like I've been on brand new roofs where they say the roofs are bad because somebody hired a roofing company and then they've hired a different solar company, and the solar company just comes by and drills in holes until they find some sort of wood for the solar stanchions to go on. We cover that because they do it all. right? When you guys have and the other United Front, we're covering it all. You guys could literally say nobody else in the state does that. It's one of the things that drives me nuts. We deal with some solar companies that could offer it. Nobody else does because nobody else wants to talk about it, handle the extra paperwork. Epic does. Now Green Day does. So it's a united front on it. And for me, you could literally say, hey, we're the only ones that do it. GAF is the only manufacturer that does it. Right? And I think that when we keep on like going on, as Nelson like pointed out, like if you guys do hit the lottery, like go out and like out of business, you then have GAF backing you. You have the Good Housekeeping seal backing you. You have Epic backing you. There's so many things for these homeowners. There'll always be someone, if something does go wrong, which is rare, they'll always be able to get a hold of somebody. So that's what I think is like the major thing with these homeowners, because they're going in at, almost like Nelson said, nobody sits there and is super proud of their roof they just bought. It's a headache, right? Nobody's super proud of it, but it's a necessity. Because you could have the nicest looking kitchen, but if you have a shitty roof or a bunch of holes inside of your roof from the solar company, man, that brand new kitchen is not gonna look good, and when water's coming through it. And like Nelson said, it doesn't feel good to sell off of fear, but unless somebody has a leak, they don't know all of a sudden you get a leak inside like a house. Well now you got to replace either the ceiling tiles, you got to place I can't think of the word.
Drywall.
But add like drywall. You have all these other things that all of a sudden, once the roof is bad, you have other issues. So just think about that, guys, and go through and think about that solar warranty and really push it, right? Because nobody else is talking about that, right? So like just like and like be aware of that. I thought like that was like really important. So I'll turn it back over to Nelson, and then he could start to sweat again.
Yes.
Like that lamp is hot.
The lights are bright up here, you know. So
I'm so sorry.
Those warranties, again, you know, Matt mentioned the importance of the solar piece, but one thing that you will run into is a homeowner telling you, I don't need a warranty. I'm going to die in 5 years. I don't need a warranty. I'm just doing this because I'm moving. What I learned recently about our transferable warranties is that California is actually an automatic transfer state. Typically, I was always told that a homeowner had 30 days or 60 days once they buy a home to get that warranty transferred, which if anybody's bought a home, your life is a zoo for 6 months minimum, and you're not going to call the warranty department of your roofing manufacturer to switch that. California protects its homeowners there. Automatic transfers and unlimited transfers. I always thought that you could only transfer at one time. That's not true. So this will transfer from, you know, the person who's going to die. Well, who's getting your house when you die? Because they're going to have a roof that has a 50-year material warranty and a 25-year workmanship warranty that goes right along with it already. Like the ROI on that, you know, they can talk to their realtor about what that means, because you know, when that's one of the number one objections that you'll hear. I don't need a warranty because I'm dying. I don't need a warranty because I'm moving. The transferable warranty from GAF that's the answer to all of those questions. And again, I believe in it. I don't say that as a used car salesman. I say it because if I was a homeowner, that's exactly what I would want. Pricing, we don't need to go into that stuff. I think we can do that another time. But when it comes to those products, I think the most important things for you to remember about GAF, the oldest shingle manufacturer, the largest shingle manufacturer, again, around longer than Coca-Cola. So if you guys hit that lotto and you close your doors, we're going to be there. We've been there for whatever. I'm not a math guy. 2023 minus 1886. Somebody do that. But that we're going to be there for that. So that's something to lean on over and over and over again and emphasize repeatedly. You know, when you're partnering with a team like Epic, who holds the standing that they do in not just the Sacramento area or the state of California, the entire West Coast. You know, Matt mentioned he's the regional sales director. He put Epic up against any other contractor that is in our area. So I think these are things to remember about the folks that you're partnering with. Have your story down. Again, we try to give you a little bit of tools, a few weapons to sell. Knowing these products, showing these products to the homeowner, invaluable to show them what they're paying for. But you know, ultimately, practice your pitch. I practice this pitch on my wife. She's in marketing. She doesn't know anything about a roof. She helped me immensely as someone who knows nothing about roofs, which is the perfect person to practice the pitch on. Do it over and over again. You know, significant other, parents, kids, friends, whatever. It's so helpful. And once you start doing it over and over again, you know, if you're used to selling solar and not roofs, you're not going to be confident talking about roofs, which is going to come through to homeowners when you're trying to sell them. again, it's not rocket science. If you know 5% about a roof, you probably know 4.5% more than the people that you're selling to, which makes you the expert. So if you go in there feeling that way, it's gonna come off, and that's how you're gonna win business. So I'm sure that we'll be doing different kind of trainings and answering questions and all that stuff in the future. You'll have all of our contact information. When it comes to any of the product stuff, give any of the GAF guys, give Parker, any of the Epic guys a call anytime you need. We're happy to help out, especially with warranties. Again, that's where you're going to win business. I've had people call me from kitchens. Hey, I'm at the homeowner's house. They're in the living room. Can you explain to me what workmanship is again? Happy to do it anytime. That's our job. So appreciate you guys. I'm excited for you guys. Couldn't have a better partner. I've known the Green Day team for a long time now. I think that this partnership is going to go really, really well. So thank you, everybody, and we'll go from there.
Cool. Thanks, Nelson. Do a QA. Do people have questions?
Yeah.
We don't have any live questions.
Okay, so real quick, I'll go over the bid process.
Okay.
If that's all right.
Perfect.
Thanks, Nelson and Matt. Yeah, I mean, we're really excited, you guys. I think we also come from the solar world, and I've been in homes with homeowners, selling them a roof, selling them solar, and most objections that you get when you're trying to sell someone solar is if a homeowner has in their mind that they need to get their roof replaced before they can put glass on the roof or panels on the roof. That's a hard objection to overcome if you only know 1% about roofing. And so what we have found is our guys are able to close more deals and add more value to their sales by upselling on a roof or focusing on selling on a roof than upselling solar. Most of our customers that we get coming to Epic are homeowners that are looking to get their roof replaced because they want to go solar in the foreseeable future. And so by adding and becoming an expert in roofing could really help you when you're there at the kitchen table closing these deals. We want to provide you guys the best tools and products out there. So that's why GAF is an awesome partner of ours. That's why we're great, because we're one of the only contractors or companies in California that can offer these insane warranties. Like, they're stupid, they're unmatched. There's no other company or manufacturer that can match what you guys are offering customers. Our guys are selling this roofing system for $900 to $1,500 a square. So the average roof size is 25 squares. We're selling these right now for $25,000, $30,000, and customers aren't really blinking an eye at it because of the value that they're getting. And so there's really a lot of value you guys can add to increase your revenue, your commissions, things like that by knowing the ins and outs of the roof. Real quick, so you guys are probably wondering, how do we get bids? We've worked that out, and I know a big issue is sometimes if you're going into an appointment and you know the customer wants to get their roof done, or you recognize that their roof is shot and probably does need to be replaced, our team's going to be working overtime to get you guys get bids back to you guys within an hour or so. So you'll follow the same process you've been doing currently. You'll reach out to your sales support team to get a bid. And request, what type of roof you're needing to get done, whether it's just a parcel section or the full roof, or if it's a tile roof, whatever. And then your sales support staff has all the tools they need to get that bid back to you within an hour. So the more advanced we have, the better. It helps you be better equipped. But if you're in the house and you need it urgently, just let sales support know, and we can see if we can expedite that bid for you, so you can get real numbers in front of you before you leave that customer's house. Biggest selling point though, you guys, like I said, is the warranties. You got a 50-year warranty. You got a 25-year guarantee or warranty on the workmanship, which covers any leaks or issues that may arise from someone, getting a new roof done. And then the solar penetration warranty. It gives your customers the ultimate peace of mind. As a roofing company, we get calls all the time in the winter when the rain's coming down, of homeowners saying they have a leak because a company came and installed panels on their roof a year ago or a couple years ago. Most leaks that do happen are usually because someone's drilling a hole in your roof, right? And that's what happens when you install solar. So these sort of warranties just give customers that ultimate satisfaction and peace of mind that they don't have to worry about it. They don't have to sink money into getting their roof repaired. That's all covered in this warranty. So I mean, there's just so much value you guys can add there. So we're really excited to be working with y'all. Again, we're pumped, and this is going to be a great partnership. And I know there may be some questions here in the room, and we'll open up to any questions that may come in online.
So, I know that Billy said that there wasn't any questions, but I can give you some questions that we've had, over
Yeah.
a couple of years.
Yeah, let's hear it, Shauna.
So, for like the 20-year penetration that he was talking about, that is gonna be huge, cause I know Anthony and I have both been asked that as salespeople. So that's gonna be like really, really huge. You guys do paper under tile, just the papering.
Yeah. So this warranty, the 50-year workmanship and the 25-year workmanship warranty and the penetration warranty is only applicable if we're replacing the entire roof.
Got it.
And it's a sloped roof. So this warranty doesn't apply on tile roofs or roofs that are flat.
But it is something that you'd be willing or can do?
We offer like a 2-year workmanship warranty on tile roofs and flat roofs. That's California standard.
Yes.
So this is specifically for roofs that involve
The
shingles.
Okay.
And so if it's like a flat roof and there's like a TPO, system or a tile system, these warranties don't necessarily apply. We have similar warranties in place if we do like the full roof, but this only applies if we're replacing the roof. So if it's an overlay, meaning we're just laying shingles on top of shingles, those warranties don't apply.
You could get a 50-year material defect, but it doesn't come in place with any sort of workmanship. Right, so if you want to do like an overlay, you could still. We are the only roofing manufacturer that offers like the System Plus warranty. We call it. It's a little bit of a downgrade, and a little bit more people could offer that. That's more like the 7%, and so we could offer that. So we really don't like to, as a company, we would rather you rip it off because we'd rather you see what's like Nelson mentioned about the deck. We'd like to see a clean deck. If you're just putting a Band-Aid over something, it's not what we prefer, but if some homeowners are just like, hey, this is what we want to give you guys like that option.
And then there's, so just for Epic and Epic Roofing, are you guys, cause you said you're an outside construction person, do you guys do patio roofs and carport roofs for solar?
We can.
Cause I know that we have veered away from it in the past, but it seems to be a new trend again.
No, I mean I think.
I want one.
Yeah, we can do all the above. Like again, we're a GC, general contractor, so I mean we're experienced and specialized to repitch roofs, to get them a proper tilt, to install panels on there. Carports, patio covers, we can do those, but there you're kind of handcuffed with the structural integrity of systems like that, and the biggest hurdle you have to get through is just getting those permitted. Oftentimes AHJs or city jurisdictions don't like panels on those. So yeah, I mean we can handle and do all that stuff.
Thank you.
Cool.
And then I just have one thing for everybody, because I like to know how many sales reps you guys have, but or how much we'll be in here training you guys. Like we can do quarterlies, we can do monthlies, whatever you guys want, twice a year, whatever you guys want. But we do have over 35,000 courses and videos on our GAF.com website. It's under our care, and then you'll see like a learning portal. So you guys could go on these and educate yourselves. We do have tons of marketing material. Like I'll try to go back here quick. For each one of our accessories here, let's just call it like a weather watch or like one of these, we have a little spreadsheet that gives you 3 or 4 talking points. So if you want to like create a folder before you go in there, and like you could show like the homeowner this and really break it down step by step by step, depending on how much you want. So just be aware that we have tons of digital marketing.
So and there's a link that you're gonna send us so that we could send out to our sales reps so they have it available with the roofing bid?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Billy.
Cool.
No, I put it in the chat.
Oh.
Yeah, they all have the link now.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Awesome. Well, if there's no other questions at this point, again, just want to remind everybody this is being recorded, so This will be sent out to everybody, but again, I just want to thank so much for GAF and obviously Epic being here. We just thought it was so important to share the just the partnership that we have and how important it is and how powerful this is. So if you have any other questions, as always, reach out to sales support, give us a call, email us, let us know, reach out to me directly as always. But other than that, thank you guys for your time. Hopefully this is valuable, and as they mentioned, more to come. We want to keep these going. We want to get you guys out there, keep you selling, give you guys the tools to be able to be successful, and we want to do that together. So thanks again for you guys' time. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon.